I mean, we all have them in our family. I just so happened to call mine dad. And it wasn't right away. My dad, from the time I was born, was always an abusive, boisterous, ignorant ass man. But when he got on that crack, yeah, it's 10 times as worse. Growing up, I never even knew my mom and dad smoked weed. I mean, they would be in the bathroom together. I would smell the incense burn, but I never smelled marijuana. I don't believe you. You need more people. It's only a gateway drug to the weak-minded. It wasn't until I was grown that I realized that mom and dad smoked weed. I knew my dad had a beer here and there, you know, took a little drinky drink. He was a grown man. He was already abusive, so it wasn't like I seen the difference in between if he was drunk or not, if he was high or not. He was always abusive. Just towards his kids, not towards my mom. That didn't come until later. But when I remember my dad being on drugs, I remember he retired from his job early, or resigned, because he got into a bad car accident. I remember my mom getting that call saying that my dad's car went into a ditch. And it's a shame that in the back of my head, I was wishing he was dead. Because back then, you didn't care about what God thought about you. You didn't care about going to hell for thinking those thoughts. It wasn't important. All that was important is I just want to wake up without tension in my stomach, without the butterflies fluttering. I just want to go to bed and not sleep with one eye open. That's why to this day as a grown adult, I sleep lightly. Because I used to just wait for him to come in my room and wake me up out of my sleep to tell me to go do the dishes because I got one spoon dirty, or to have a party in the basement around his pool table and have his family in there until the wee hours in the morning. They were there until 3. I had to get up at 7. Sleepless nights. That's my point. So when I heard that he fell into that ditch, it was almost as if I asked God to please let him not survive it. But it wasn't until after that accident he got on crack. And I blame his family for it. I know he is a grown man, but they definitely introduced him to the life. They were there until 3 o'clock in the morning. They were always calling him, knowing when he got his money, because even though he resigned from his job, he was a veteran, fought in the Vietnam War, Purple Heart, took a bullet in his hand. So, first of the month. Yeah. We had it made. Christmases were gorgeous. The house was beautiful. We had everything we wanted. And then when my mom became the sole breadwinner, it was cornflakes and peanut butter, mayonnaise sandwiches, bread with syrup, Kool-Aid, no sugar. But she held it down and she did what she had to do. The incident that sticks out in my mind most, where I knew the drugs were really bad, or that it was official that this wasn't my dad. It was one morning, I'm getting up for school. You know, we heard our peoples in the basement the night before. I stayed in the room with my sister. My 2 brothers had the back room. But by this time, my oldest brother had ran away. He couldn't take it. He was my dad's stepson and treated the worst out of all of us. So, at 14, he ran away from home. So who was next in line? Me. I'm the oldest of my dad's kids. I'm the oldest left in the house. So, it was one morning, routine, get the kids up, get my brother and sister up, let's go eat a bowl of cereal, let's get this day started. Let's go to school and like act like everything's alright. Let's go to school and try not to doze off at our desk. Let's go to school with a smile on our face so that nobody knows what we go through behind closed doors. I get my sister and brother up. We go downstairs to have cereal. I'm the first one down. Straight to the kitchen. And that's where I finally realized my dad was a drug addict. I open the kitchen door and there's my dad hugging on another woman on our kitchen floor that wasn't my mother. Skinny, light-skinned black chick. Later on, found out her name was Nisi. I looked to my left, and at the time, on top of the counter, I seen what was a glass pipe. Still naive, not knowing what it was. Flame on the stove, all the way up. They're sleeping. Glass pipe, flames on the stove, all the way up. Still didn't know what was going on. I just knew that wasn't my mom, and that don't look right. My brother and sister come down the steps to come eat breakfast. I stop them at the steps, and we tiptoe our way back upstairs so my dad doesn't know that I called him, that we seen it. My brother and sister never did see it. I never let them get that far into the kitchen. I seen it. And when my dad heard the footsteps walking away, I looked back and I could see him getting up from off the kitchen floor. Later on, realized that Nisi went out the back door. So, went to school like nothing happened. Like I didn't just get the shock out of my life. All day putting two and two together, knowing something is not right. Just not knowing what it is. What is that glass pipe? Why is the flame on high? Who is this woman next to daddy that's not mommy? Still not even really realizing it wasn't right. So, one day after school, doing my homework, my mom is in the dining room. She's folding clothes. And I always remember this like it was yesterday. On Oprah, cheating husbands. This is before Oprah had the actual sit down and talk to celebrity show and actually had the controversial, husbands cheating on wives. So I heard a couple women tell their stories. Men come out, Oprah questioning them, women screaming, tears down their face. And then it dawned on me. Okay, so this is a bad thing? Daddies are only supposed to be with mommies and not with the woman on the kitchen floor? I looked at my mom. Mom, I got something to tell you. She looked at me. Yeah, what is it? I looked at my mom. Still not sure what I'm about to tell her. Is it really that bad? Even after I watched Oprah and knew that it wasn't right, was it that wrong? She looked at me. Just say it. If only it was that easy, because I'm not sure what I'm going to tell you. And again, my dad is abusive. So if you confront him, he's going to know I saw him. He's going to take it out on me. Because you have to work 11 to 7. So I'm going to be here to fend by myself. Fend for myself. Fend for my sister and brother, who had nothing to do with it, but guaranteed he would have took it out on him. Even though I caught most of the abuse. Even though if my sister and brother did something wrong, I was the one that took the blame just because I couldn't see them get hit. Them get touched. Hear their cries. I'd rather take it than listen to it. I take the whelps. I won't be able to sit at school. But I'll never tell nobody because then he'll kill me. What is it, Davina? Just tell me. Well, the other morning, We came down to get a bowl of cereal. I seen Daddy on the floor with some chick that wasn't you. Skinny black chick. She sat there and looked at me. And I seen a glass pipe on our counter and the flame on our stove set on high. She looked at me, just staring. Are you sure? I'm sure. And then Dad got up like it wasn't anything. He got up, told us to go eat breakfast. I remember his mannerisms. He was caught with his pants down. I remember coming downstairs acting like I'd never seen anything. I don't know what he's talking about. Went right past him as he was buttoning up his pants. No shirt on. And went and made my bowl of cornflakes. Extra sugar. Oh, Mom, by the way, what is that pipe? I don't know what it looked like. Just a straight line. And these little baggies. And the flame set on high. Oh, okay. Never said anything else about it. Went about our day. Dad gets home later that night. I'm sure from hanging with his family. I'm sure from getting his fix. And he was very weak. He might have been physically strong, but his mind was weak. You couldn't really tell. Because like I said, he was abusive before. So he was extra abusive with this crack in him. He was a mean crackhead. Not one of those that'll steal your baby pamper money because the government supported his habit. By him being a veteran and him getting that money every month, that's what he smoked up. So he wasn't one of those that pawned the TV, that stole out our piggy bank. He had government funded crack. And my mom was the breadwinner. And I'm sure when he didn't have it, she gave. I never talked to her about that. And I just will not talk to her about that. Because I'm grown. And I won't let him have that power over me to give a shit. Not anymore. So later that day, Dad comes home. He walks in. We're all upstairs. I'm scared to death. I know she's going to confront him. He's going to know I told her. And even if he doesn't know it was me, and say it was my little sister or brother, I'm getting the blame. So either way, I'm fucked. And I'm just listening for the voices to be raised. I'm listening for the argument. And there it is. Boom. Who is she? Who was she? Why you do this to me? I can't believe you did this to me. Why would you do this to me? And you on drugs? And you on drugs in my house? Blah, 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 blah. Uh-oh. Mommy gotta go to work that night. And it's gonna be taken out on me. So she leaves for work that night. And I beg and plead for her. Please don't leave me here. I told you. Please don't leave me here. In the middle of them arguing, he storms up the steps. Who told her? Which one of y'all told her? As he's looking at me eye to eye. I probably looked frightened. I probably looked like I told. I didn't have to say a word. And my mom protected me until she couldn't protect me. And she had to go make that money. Don't blame them, Cliff. They didn't have anything to do with it. You're the one who was on the kitchen floor. You're the one doing drugs in my house. You're the one partying all night. You. Blame you. He wasn't going to hear that shit. He wasn't a reasonable man. I already knew that. This is my ass. Mom goes to work that night. Guess who gets woken up out of bed? Yeah. Slammed him from the top bunk onto the floor. Bow. Oh, so you gonna sit there and tell on me? Oh, so you tough now? She ain't here to save you now. Say something else. Tell her my business again. And next time I'll kill you. And I might have feared him for physical reasons because I was a little girl and he was a big grown Navy Vietnam veteran man. But mentally he could never fuck with me because I had something on him. You're a crackhead. You're a crackhead. 3 years later, he finally did something that broke the camel's back. My mom finally got the courage. Restraining order out of our life. You can't come within 25 feet. He finally broke the camel's back. My weed high. It's not going to ruin my family. I'm not selling the TVs and the computers. I'm not abusing my children. So for them to say weed was the gateway to what my dad was, is bullshit. As soon as he got in that accident and my mom had to start supporting us and he fell in that ditch and resigned and he was collecting that government money, he just had time on his hands. Oh, let me go see my family in North Philly, see what they're up to. Thinking it was just a visit. Used to go on runs with him, thinking it was just a visit. It was more than that. Why they in the house so long? I wonder what they in there doing. And once I knew that that glass pipe and that flame and those baggies were crack, I never looked at him the same. We all have them in our family. I just happen to call mine Dad.